Well, hello everybody. Turn that down. I'm Dave England, the sole proprietor, the owner, and the president of Wine with Dave. I don't have my Wine with Dave glass tonight. And you know what? I forgot to turn the light off. I might keep it on tonight because I kind of like the brightness. I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the brightness? It's wine o'clock. It's going to be wine o'clock for the next hour. So we can whine and complain for 59 minutes and 59 seconds. So tonight I have a mild whiskey. I cannot remember the name. Mixed with a little bit of cinnamon whiskey. And it's very light. It's light. It's refreshing. It's a summer drink. I really miss summer. I went swimming twice. How about you? Anybody go swimming? What a weird year this has been. I'm telling you, weird year. I'm still sharing off the pages. Hey, if you're just showing up, this is Wine with Dave. I started on April 1st, and the goal is to build up businesses and to highlight local businesses, entrepreneurs, musicians, book authors, interesting people, anybody that wants to get their story out. But, I lean towards businesses. Type in where you're from. I like to see where you are from. And it will actually show up on the screen. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Am I in focus? Oh, I'm a little out of focus. Hold on. I'm out of focus. You guys like my shirt? Hire me. I'm a marketer. Little shameless plug. It's a shameless plug. Yeah, go ahead and follow my page. I really appreciate it. I do this for the love of doing it. I really do love doing it every day. Sometimes it gets a little draining, and then I just need a little shot of energy, little extra cup of coffee. Tonight's guest is a little nervous, but she's going to be fine. So to calm her nerves, I want you guys to just ask a lot of questions because she is a talker. And I'm looking at her right now, off camera. She's in the green room, as we say, chilling out. Danielle, look at a green piece of paper. That'll calm you down. So I study color psychology. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a reason why they call it a green room. Literally, the room is painted green, and it's a room down the hall just before guests come on stage at Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon and all that. And the reason why is green vibrates the slowest. It's kind of like sound waves. It vibrates the slowest into your irises and lowers your heart rate. And red is the opposite. It just goes fast. People eat twice as much food in a red room. That's kind of common fact for color psychologists. So that's why they call it the green room. So Danielle, you are in a red room right now. She's in a red room, so her heart rate is cranking. So she should look at a green piece of paper. Or just Google color green. Anyway, I digress. I'm kind of getting off the subject here. But tonight's guest is going to be great. But the first segment for the next few minutes is pretty fun. It's Did You Know? Want to play Did You Know? I think you guys like Did You Know. Can everybody hear me? I just want to make sure you can. Yep, Blue Yeti is on. All right, Did You Know? There's really cool things that are happening in Did You Know? I look far and wide on Google to find some interesting stuff. Did you know that 1 in every 4 Americans has appeared on television? Did you know that? 1 in every 4. Did you know in 1998, more fast food employees were murdered on the job than police officers? More fast food employees in 1998. Dead people can get goosebumps. That would give me goosebumps. That's crazy, huh? Dead people get goosebumps. Did you know it's against the law in Kansas to catch fish with your bare hands? Jerry, put your hands back in your pocket. Get the fishing poles. There are 2 million millionaires in the United States today. Interesting facts. Did you know? Did you know the United States has 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prison population? Did you know it's illegal to hunt camels in the state of Arizona? You can't hunt them in Arizona, which equals you can never get arrested for hunting camels in Arizona, because I don't think there are any. Unless there's an Arizona zoo, that would be better. But then that's another crime, right? Hunting an animal that's already in a zoo. To know when to mate, a male giraffe will continuously headbutt the female in the bladder until she urinates. The male then tastes the pee, and that helps it determine whether the female is ovulating. I kid you not. If you're just tuning in, this is Wine with Dave and you're listening to the segment, Did You Know? And now you know. That's how a male giraffe knows when it's time to mate. He headbutts the female in the bladder. She urinates. He tastes the pee. He can tell if she's ovulating. All right. Next. Quebec City in Canada has about as much street crime as Disney World. All of Disney World. All of it. Crazy, huh? In every episode of Seinfeld, there is a Superman somewhere. And did you know that in the movie Fight Club, in every single shot, not every scene, every shot, which is every single time the film is rolling, there is a Starbucks cup. I happen to know that. That was a side thing. But really, tonight's thing was all about Superman is in every episode of Seinfeld somewhere. The Spanish word esposa means wife. The plural esposas means wives, which also means handcuffs. I'm not going to touch that. The city with the most Rolls Royces per capita, I want you to guess. Just type in Rolls Royce and guess. What city do you think has the most Rolls Royce? And of the 6 men who made up the Three Stooges, 3 of them were real brothers. Which ones? Type in Three Stooges and type in the 3 that you think are brothers. And the Spanish national anthem. How many words are in the Spanish national anthem? All right, we're done with that. We're done with Did You Know for tonight. That was fun. That was some interesting things, huh? Giraffes. I thought that was the most interesting one. All right, so anybody on tonight? Let's see. A bunch of people are watching. Danielle, my guest. Thanks, Dave England. Questions will certainly calm me. Yeah, so just answer these questions, okay? And then they'll show up on the screen. You get some big prizes. The first one is the city with the most Rolls Royces per capita. Just type it in. Just type in what you think it is. Just type in city. It's going to show up on the screen. I will give you a shout out because you're going to be live. You're going to be right here. All right. I like to do shout outs. And then the second one is the 6 men who made up all the Three Stooges. 3 of them were real brothers. Who were they? And the Spanish national anthem. How many words are in the Spanish national anthem? Anybody? No one is playing tonight. I usually get a lot of people. I usually get tons of people. Interesting. Let me share this publicly. All right. So, if you're leaving a comment and you're not on Wine with Dave, the Facebook page, then your answers don't show up on the screen. I'm sorry. I guess I should have said that. It's very important. You can still watch the show, but you can't add and win fabulous prizes. But it shows up on the screen just like this. The city is Boca Raton for Rolls Royces. Danielle says that. Well, we're gonna give the answers out because I don't think anyone's voting tonight. Nobody's voting tonight. All right, ready? City with the most Rolls Royces, Hong Kong. Hong Kong has the most Rolls Royces. How about the Three Stooges? Of the 6 men who made up the Three Stooges, who were they? Who were the ones that were brothers? How about Moe, Curly, and Shemp? Mo, Curly, and Shemp. Yep. They were the brothers. And the last one, the interactive one, and no one's voting on that one. No one's guessing. The Spanish national anthem, how many words? It's kind of a trick question. There are no words in the Spanish national anthem. Bet you didn't know that. Yeah, that was interesting. That was boring. Nobody guessed. I had tons of prizes, like an old red Bic pen, directly from the Wine with Dave desk. And then I got this thing. This you clip on to your phone, and it's really cool lenses. I would have given you that. What else would I have given you? Many, many prizes. Oh, I got a lot of prizes. I'm not giving this one away, though. This was my grandfather's. Check this out. From Waltham. Look at that. That's cool, huh? In Providence, 1850. This is his stopwatch. I wouldn't give this out, but this is really cool. And this is really heavy. I want to get this going again. That'd be cool to have a pocket watch again. So anyway, if you're tuning in, this is Wine with Dave. I'm gonna have fun tonight. We got a couple guests. We got one guest. And what day is today? Does anyone know what today is? It is Thursday, September 17th, 2020. And we got a birthday. Whose birthday is it? This guy. 1923. Happy birthday, Hank Williams, born in Mount Olive, Alabama. Hank recorded 35 singles that ranked in the top 10 of the country and western bestsellers chart, and he had 11 number ones. Imagine that. He recorded 35, but he had 11 number ones. His hits include Lovesick Blues, Why Don't You Leave Me, Cold, Cold Heart, Hey, Good Lookin', I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, and Your Cheatin' Heart. Williams became one of the earliest inductees in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. His songs have been covered by numerous pop, gospel, and blues artists. Happy birthday to Hank Williams. What else happened today? Ooh, we know this guy, all you cartoon Saturday morning buffs. In 1949, Wile E. Coyote, a Warner Brothers cartoon character created by Chuck Jones, first debuts in the episode called, anyone? Fast and Furious. One running gag involves Wile E. Coyote trying in vain to shield himself with a little parasol against a great falling boulder that is about to crush him. Another running gag involves the coyote falling off a high cliff after he goes off the edge. The rest of the scene, a shot from a bird's eye, shows him falling into a canyon so deep that his figure is eventually lost to sight. This is followed a second or two later by the rising of a dust cloud from the canyon floor as the coyote hits. And then we cue the little poof. That was great. Never saw that before in cartoons. It was just very, very clever directing. There's directors in cartoons, you know. They don't direct the animators. They direct how it flows. Does anyone know what the E in of Wile E. Coyote? What does the E stand for? Well, it stands for Ethelbert. Wile Ethelbert Coyote. And there was only 49 episodes. Isn't that interesting? I swore there had to be 300 of them. I don't think I saw anyone twice. So that happened today. Another cool thing happened today for you sports fans out there. Any sports fans? Leave a message. Just type it in. Just type in. Tell me where you're from. I want to know where you're from. Sports fans, ready? This guy. Honus Wagner retires at 43 years old today in 1917. His number was 33, of course. An American baseball shortstop who played 21 seasons in Major League Baseball from 1897 to 1917. Many years, entirely with the Pittsburgh Pirates, by the way. Wagner was nicknamed the Flying Dutchman due to his superb speed and his German heritage. And see that card right there? Boom. That card is the most coveted card in baseball of all time. The Honus Wagner card sold for $2.1 million in an online auction. I remember seeing that card. That is cool. But he doesn't look like the real Honus Wagner. I don't know. He looks a little bit like him, but not exactly. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. He retired. No more Honus Wagner. And lastly, what happened today on September 17th? Well, in 2011, Adele. Any Adele fans out there? Anybody? Any Adele fans? Adele went number one on the U.S. singles charts with the song Someone Like You from the album 21. The track was also number one in Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, Finland, France, Italy, Poland, Switzerland, and United Kingdom. And she said that the album was inspired by the breakup with her former partner. I love Adele. She's amazing. But I just found out something tonight about her I did not know. She has 3 albums to date. She does have a live album, but 3 recorded in the studio albums. And they're called 19. The second one's called 21. And the third one is called 25. And she named it after how old she was when she recorded. So she's doing a traditional thing here. So her next album is probably going to be called 33. I don't know. I don't know when she's coming out. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of Adele. Enough of Did You Know? What else is going on? Well, my guest is coming on. It is 9:17. Go ahead and follow me. Click on the follow button. I appreciate it. I love when people follow me and you get updates. You just follow. Whenever we go live, you'll get a little ding. You could check it out if you're interested. You could watch. If you're not, go back to old episodes of Seinfeld and look for Superman. But I would suggest that you follow because I really do try to build up local businesses like tonight. But first, tomorrow night, Friday night, if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, okay? Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. is a do not miss night. My guest tomorrow is a Jimmy Page sound-alike and look-alike. Wait till you hear this kid. He's young. He's got to be 19-ish, 18, 17, 18, 19, I think. We connected on Instagram. He's going to be live. Excuse me. Getting all choked up. He's going to be live tomorrow night. Really good guy. Jack Bowden will be on. He is a Zeppelin freakazoid. But tonight you're in for a treat. I'm excited about my next guest. Danielle Harbour runs the North Attleboro region of a very unique magazine that introduces you to your neighbors by sharing stories about them. The Cliffs Living is a hyper-local magazine that makes reaching the most sought-after consumers in your area easy. And as an advertiser, you're viewed as more than just a local business. You're seen as a true community supporter that allows the neighborhood magazine to exist. Danielle's mission is to turn neighborhoods into communities. Check it out. Danielle, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Dave. How are you? I mean, that was a ton of information you gave us in the first 17 minutes of the show.
I know. I try to get it in 15 minutes. It's impossible. If I just talk about my day, I kill like 2 minutes. But I try to jam all that. So, but thank you. You look great, by the way. You look really good. You look like you're full of life and ready to take on the world.
I appreciate that. It might be have something to do with this. I'm not
It
sure.
might have. Hey, that picture looks great behind you, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah,
That's a,
she's always watching me,
yeah. Now,
making sure.
is that Gorgon? No.
Oh, I'm not sure. But she's my work buddy. She always watches me. I used to just have her at home when I worked, but now most of us are home, as you may have in your house as well.
Oh yeah. I know. It's a lot. I'm home a few days a week, and then I'm in the office a few days a week. But thank you so much for coming on. We got a lot to talk about. You're going to be here for the next 45 minutes, 42 minutes. Who's counting, right? Let me know about your work history. So what did you do? And then we'll get into what is N2 Publishing and Cliff's Living. But what did you do before this? You were like high powered, huh?
Sure. I actually worked in corporate my entire life. Right out of college, I graduated from Michigan State a few years ago. And right out of college, I started in retail, worked my way up the corporate ladder. So most recently, I was vice president of digital merchandising at a company in Canton. I had been there for 14 years and just felt like I was really burning the candle at both ends, working a lot of nights and weekends and a lot of travel. I started working there when I was pregnant with my son, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And, 14 years later, I'm looking up to him as he's 6 feet tall and
Wow.
saying,
Yeah, they sprout right up, huh?
yep. And I was just praying, for a change. I said, I just need a change. I need something different. And I was praying for God to show me a sign and put something different in my life.
Yep. We just lost your feed a little bit. Make sure you don't have anything open. I'm going to shut some things down here. So you were praying for some kind of a miracle, some direction. And what happened next?
Well, it's funny what you pray for, right? You never know what you might get. But I received an email from N2 Publishing, and in the body of the email, they talked about how, community, it's all about community and turning neighborhoods into communities. And there was a video from the owners of the company. And in that video, there were about 200 signs with God's name on it. And I said, I wonder if this is the path I'm supposed to take.
Well,
And
yeah.
it's something I've never done before. I've always worked in corporate and, we're a franchise owned company. And it was just, I decided that if God was behind me, I would be successful. And I went for it. And that was in November of 2018 is when we launched the
Oh,
Clip.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now it's N2 Publishing. What does N2 stand for?
Neighborhood networks. So what our tagline is turning neighborhoods into communities and bringing people back to talking to each other, where a lot of times people don't know their neighbors anymore.
True.
They see them, they wave, kind of tuck into the garage, and you may know their names, you may not. And it's just the stories and the content comes from the neighborhood themselves. It's all about them,
Mm-hmm.
similar to a Facebook feed where people post their stories. And our tagline is turning neighborhoods into communities.
Yeah, that's good. I was walking my dog last night with my wife, and we went by a telephone pole that had a paper, 8.5 by 11 paper stapled to it. I'm like, what is this? And I look at it. It had just a clip art of a grill, and it said, hello, everyone. We're new to the family, John and Rebecca, or whatever their name. I can't remember their names. We're brand new to the neighborhood, and we'd love to meet you. Here's our address. And the date was on Saturday, a few days before. I'm like, oh, I missed it. I would have totally loved to do that because I don't know a lot of my neighbors. So what a unique idea for N2 to do that, to really highlight neighbors.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the neighborhood that I live in is maybe a little bit similar to the Cliffs. And we've lived here for 22. Am I freezing up a little bit, Dave?
Yeah, you are. You are, yep.
Can you at least hear me?
I can hear you the whole time. So everybody out there, just kind of be patient.
I've had a lot of internet trouble today. So hopefully when I freeze, I at least have a smile on my face. That's all
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
ask.
I know. Rather than like a blink. Just make sure no one, I don't know if you can call your husband in the other room and say, turn off Netflix for 45 minutes. That's usually what does it. If someone's on Netflix, it kind of slows down.
Did you
But
hear that, honey? They're probably all on some type of device, so hopefully they heard you.
yeah, you know what? If they do, it's going to be nice and clean. So that's live. People expect that. All
Yeah.
right. So neighborhoods, building communities.
So, so I Yeah, so I we lived in this neighborhood for about 22, 23 years, and we didn't really know our neighbors for most of it. And about 12, 13 years ago, somebody started a block party. We got together in our neighborhood and we met our neighbors, like our immediate neighbors. And it's unbelievable the camaraderie we had. And we're best friends. We've traveled all over together. We watched each other's kids. I think there were four of us, four different couples that really bonded. And between us, we had 21 kids or something like that. So it was
Wow.
really fun to help watch each other's kids grow. And most of them are grown up and moved away. And I thought if I could bring the community that we have in our neighborhood to another neighborhood, it would be really rewarding. So that's another reason why I'm so passionate about what I do.
That's crazy. I mean, when I met you, I don't know when I met you, a handful of years ago, you've just always been the friendliest person. So you walk in a room, it's like, oh, there's Danielle. You know, it's always encouraging. If you're having a bad day, you want to be in a room where you are because you just pull out the negative stuff and clean. You're like a cleanser.
Oh, that's so sweet, Dave. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're like a giraffe that rams into someone's. No, 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 no. I'm kidding. Is that a weird fact or what?
That's a weird fact. I mean, out of all the facts, that one was weird. I mean, the dead people with the goosebumps was a little funny, but the giraffe that rams into the female's bladder and then drinks the urine to see if she's ovulating is a little excessive, I'd
I might
say.
try that with my wife. I might punch her in the gut and just see if she goes to the bathroom. Anyway,
Let me know how that works out.
so the philosophy behind the neighborhood publication is really building community. The first time I've seen N2 Publishing was in my town, and I happened to see a bass player that I knew, him and his wife, and it was called, it wasn't called a split family. It was like two families come together. Like he had a son and a daughter, and then the wife had a daughter and a son, and kind of like a Brady Bunch. They all came together. And they were just right on the front steps of their home. Beautiful photo, big article on them. I'm like, that is so cool. So at that point, I got what N2 is about. It
Right.
highlights families, huh?
Right. It kind of puts the front porches back on the house like we had back in the day where you'd just hang out with your neighbor and have a, cold beer and a drink, or, pass lemonade over the fence and really just get to know people. So it brings back that sense of community. And on top of just the publication itself, we have two other ways to connect residents to each other and to connect them to the businesses that sponsor the publication. So one way is through events. We do a lot of social events. Well, we did a lot more prior to, say, March of this year, but we're picking them back up again. So they're starting to happen again. And that allows our residents to meet each other and our business partners in person. So we allow a couple of other ways for them to connect, which is really fun.
Man, so it's like a different mission. It's just not like, here's a bunch of articles, sell some ads, let's make money. It's completely different than that. It's a magazine about highlighting local families and also doing the events to get them to know each other. I think that's brilliant.
Absolutely. I think it is too. Thank you, Dave. I mean, I wish it was my idea, but I execute, I think, pretty well. So yeah, it's all about their families, kids, pets, people that are making a difference in the world through giving back, through volunteer work. We usually have an athlete of the month. And we look for businesses that want to be in front of these affluent communities. A lot of times when the economy's down or we might be like thinking we're going to be hitting a recession, a lot of businesses don't want to advertise. And it's actually the best time to advertise because you can gain a lot of market share because things are really quiet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
cool about our communities is people are highly engaged. We know people are home right now, right? So people are highly engaged, and we get a lot of great feedback from the residents that they just can't wait to get it every month. Some months half of the neighborhood will get it. We mail the publication direct mail. Half of them will get it one day, and the other half might get it the next. And either way, my phone will blow up. We love the magazine. It did a great job. And then we'll hear from the other half saying, I didn't get mine yet. Do you have an extra copy you can drop off? So people are excited every month that it delivers. They can't wait to get it. I have
Yeah. Do you have a copy of it right nearby?
Yeah, I actually have a couple of copies where we always have a family on the cover.
Yep. Now
And
it's
we have
called the Cliffs, and it's North Attleboro, but they're all over
it's
the
called the
U.S.,
Cliff.
right? They're all in affluent
Yeah,
communities.
we have 1,000 publications across the country, actually. And we're in most of the affluent communities because those are the communities that are desirable for businesses to be in front of. And they're really private and hard to reach communities that, you can send 1 million postcards to that same community and people are going to stand over the recycle bin and chuck them in. But if you send a copy of this, they're going to hang on to it and read it from cover to cover. So it really gets our businesses in front of the right people. They see their ad over and over again, and they hang on to it. So we continuously hear how much people will go back to a prior issue and reread it. So
Have you heard from people, from neighbors who've said, ever since you came into town and you have a magazine for our neighborhood, that and you're having these events, like, thank you so much? I mean, are you getting people that are really jazzed about it?
Oh yeah, all the time. And what's amazing is, it's the biggest neighborhood in North Attleboro is who we mail to, and I'll hear from new people. I'll hear from a couple of new people every month because you'll get that same kind of group of people. Maybe it's 20, 30 families that you hear from every month, which is great. We love them because
Yeah.
they always have, a story to tell. Like I said, the content comes from them. And then every month we'll hear from like 2, 3, 4 new families. And it seems as we're hitting year 2, people are even more excited about it. And especially in this type of environment, people don't want to be divisive to each other. They don't want to fight with each other. They want to be able to get along. And we provide
Hmm.
sort of the atmosphere for them to be able to. Um, so it's pretty cool. So in addition to the publication and the events, we also do the same area. We do social media remarketing to that same area on
Mm.
Facebook, Instagram. So it's in person, in print, and in their social media feeds. So it's 3 ways
Nice.
to hit their ideal client.
So tell me about the events that you have. So you're actually, these events would not normally have taken place on their own. I mean, you guys are the catalyst to come in and say, hey, come on in and meet your neighbors. What are some of these events? What type of things do you
Yeah,
do?
sure. So we have I actually love to do events. It's one of my favorite parts of the job because
I
I love
can
connecting
tell.
with people. So I was heartbroken when we had to cancel 5 of them in March, but we're getting them back. So we actually had an event. We try and mix it up. So we've had some restaurant events where we'll go into a restaurant. They usually provide the food. We do a cash bar. We invite our business partners. We invite our residents, and everyone just gets to mingle. The businesses are there. They're not with a clipboard signing people up, giving out estimates, but they talk to the community and become part of it. They're the ones sponsoring the publication. And people have good food, good drink, and we bring people into the restaurant that may have never otherwise tried it, and
Wow.
then we'll do an article about it. So let's see what I have in this event. I wasn't so we did, and then this year we also did this event. We did, I don't know if you can see it, but it's at Stella Osteria, which is in North Attleboro. They provided
Yes. Wow.
some great food. We had some great businesses come out and a great conversation. Just a blast. And I know the one of the managing partners of Patriot Subaru, Mark Perryman, was there, and he really wanted to be part of the community. He got to meet a lot of other business owners and some of the residents. It was a great connection to meet other people. We've had a chili cook-off. We were able to pull a chili cook-off this year. I think we did it in January or February, where whether you were business sponsoring or a resident, you can make a chili. We had 12 different chilies that people could taste test. And Monroe Dairy actually is sponsoring the publication, they had brought some milk to help us with the hot chili. So it was just really fun. You know, when you were a kid and you'd look for the big pile of bikes that were like in the neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
where the
Right.
fun was like, oh my God, there's 10 bikes over there. Let me get over there. That's where the fun was. You know, they were doing something tag or, you know, whatever, a sports game. That's kind
Manhunt.
of what it
We
felt like.
played Manhunt with that, yeah.
We used to call it hide and seek back in the day, but whatever, manhunt. So it kind of felt like that. We had, you know, cornhole. It was just a blast. We had it at the Central Congregational Church, just a big hall to have that in. I ran an event last November at Patriot Subaru of North Attleboro. We had a family fun and game night. That was a blast. WRIK Entertainment came and did minute to win it games. We had food, we had beer, we had wine. School of Rock came and played. Their show team played a set.
Right.
It was phenomenal.
Yep.
And we had over about 200 people come up to that event. We had virtual golf.
Come on.
Giant Jenga games, some foosball games. It was a blast. So we kind of mix it up between restaurants. We had a craft night one night at the craft bar where everyone can make like a little craft to take home. And, you know, of course, we take pictures and do an article about it. We're going to do a 2020. For 2020, we're going to do a Halloween scavenger hunt in the neighborhood for the kids because I'm not sure if kids are going to trick or treat or not.
I know, really.
Special for them, so that'll be fun.
Some kids won't want to wear a mask.
Right?
Boom, boom.
Most well. And then we actually have an event coming up in a couple weeks at Stone Ridge and a beer and wine mixer with an appetizer pairing. So I'm taking RSVPs from the neighborhood and the businesses right now for that.
You just froze up for a second. Stone Ridge what? What was it?
Stone Ridge Grill and Bar. It's in Plainville. It's an appetizer. It's a beer and wine mixer with an appetizer pairing. They opened up last October. Phenomenal food. And
never heard of them. I got to check them out.
Yeah, it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a good night. We have to social distance. We're outside in the tent. You know, we have to follow the protocols, but at least we're out.
There you go. Out and about. That must be the fun part of your job when you have the events. Do you go to all of them, as many as you can, or?
I go to all of them. Yep.
Wow.
We had a successful. So the events that we canceled was we had one scheduled for the Hockomock Y in North Attleboro. They were going to do a family fun night in the rope courses and the bouncy houses and food and everything. That was scheduled for May 1st, which didn't happen. So we'll look to reschedule that.
Mm-hmm.
And we also had an event with Dream Dinners where you could go and make a meal to bring home because you do meal prep and bring it home. And it didn't happen for people to make their own, but we reinvented that to a curbside pickup appreciation event, and people came and picked up a meal. We gave out about 25 meals, and most of them came back and
come on
for the next month. So those are people that would otherwise never have maybe tried it. It's right around the corner from the Cliffs, and they hadn't tried it yet. But we did an event, and now there's a handful of new customers. So
there you go. So a couple questions. First one is, why is it called the Cliffs? Is that like one of the neighborhoods there, or what is?
That is the neighborhood there. It's called the Cliffs.
Okay.
So the neighborhood, it used to be called back in the day the Old Mortgage Hill. It was like the most affluent community in North Attleboro. So it's just called the Cliffs. Most people know it if you're a townie. It's the Cliffs.
The Cliffs. The other question is, do the locals advertise in their own magazine? Or is it people just outside?
No, we have a bunch of business sponsors that actually live in the Cliffs that are advertising. Barbara O'Hara, she's with North Star Real Estate. She's the broker owner there. She is advertising with us on the Real Estate Resource, which shows the home values month after month. It's another reason for them to hang on to it. We have Laurel Sims School of Dance, lives in the Cliffs, is advertising with us. BDL Heating and Cooling, an HVAC company. They're great. Also advertising. We have Kensington Real Estate. She's a broker owner that lives in the Cliffs.
Nice.
I know I'm forgetting. Paulus Brothers. They are flooring, and they live in the Cliffs. And I know I'm missing one or two more.
It's like you're winning an award, like an Oscar. You can't forget the name.
I feel really bad if I don't name everyone, but
no, we have time. We have to take your time.
Paulus Brothers Flooring, we did, so we'll highlight, so we have a complete package that, depending on the length of the agreement and the size of your ad, we'll do a sponsor spotlight, and it highlights your business, explains what makes you different. Dave Paulus was one of our sponsors with Paulus Brothers Flooring last month. And then we also had Coach Sean and Nora Ryan from Confidence Fitness. Coach Sean actually grew up in the Cliffs.
Okay.
And phenomenal small group training classes and personal coaching. So we meet with everybody that is sponsoring the publication in person, because we don't want to put anyone crazy in here. The worst thing that can happen is, someone gives an estimate, takes half the deposit, and never shows up. So we meet with everyone to make sure that, we've screened them. They've been vetted. They're legit. I think you might know this guy here, Chris Maynard Dog Training Solutions.
Your screen just froze up. Oh, there it is. Yep. I know Chris really well.
He's sponsoring the Pet of the Month page. So every month we highlight a different pet. This is Piper.
Nice.
Piper wrote it. It's in the first person. So it's just really cool. And, gets to know your neighbors. You know who the pet is, who the kid of the month is. And we have a young achiever here. Every month we'll highlight, someone in the neighborhood.
That's cool. They're not just, basic blah template articles. They're about real people. I think people like to read about that. They want it. That's why I like doing this show, is I get to meet people all the time and interview them. People fascinate me. I think that's what's cool about that magazine.
It's like when Facebook was fun and you used to like to read it. It's not fun anymore, but it's a little bit more divisive nowadays.
It used to be fun. That's a true statement. It used to be really fun.
Right.
That's true. How is it different than traditional advertising?
Well, because, people need to see things multiple times before they convert, right? We can never time the buying cycle on when someone's ready for anything. So this makes a number of impressions on them, because it's in person, it's in print, and it's on social media, on their social media feeds. And it targets, areas that still have disposable income to spend, whether there's going to be a recession or not, if the economy's in a downturn or not. It still targets an ideal client for a lot of businesses that want to be in front of them. Yeah.
Nice. And you've got staff photographers and writers. You just come all prepared, right, when you go to these events?
So what ended up happening, so my daughter, Alexandra Harbour Photography, is the photographer right now. We've had a couple different ones. Sarah Rizzo Photography lives in the neighborhood. She helped out for a while too with the photography. But what ended up happening was we got a bunch of contributors that wanted to be a part of it. We have a handful of junior writers that are super excited to write the publication every month. They'll send in an article every month. And then we have Hannah Young, who submits an article every month called Keeping It Real. Mm-hmm. So she went off to college last year, and her father, actually, this is Hannah Young here on the cover, and her parents are both doctors, and she went off to college, and she wanted to receive the magazine because she didn't want to miss an issue. She loved getting it. She wrote a column called Keeping It Real, which is kind of what it's like once you go to college. Is the freshman 15 real? To eat meat or not to eat meat? And this one is, I'm half Japanese. And it just talks about real things in the world. Yeah. From a 20-year-old perspective, or around 20-ish. And it's just phenomenal that, we kind of capture all the different audiences with that. She has a great writing style, and we love reading that every month. So
that's cool. We have some comments here. Rick Greenwood from California, Mayberry Front Porch. That's... It's like Mayberry RFD. Remember that?
Yep.
That's kind of like bringing back. And Carmela's in the house.
Carmela
in Baroth. Way to go, Danielle Harbour. Wine with Dave is an awesome place to be. Thank you, Carmela. I appreciate it.
Carmela is going to be launching the North Smithfields community. She just got out of training, and she's going to be a rock star.
Yeah, I interviewed her. She was one of my third or fourth interviews. Way back. Feels like years ago, but it was like early April. That's crazy. Rick Greenwood, social distance wine tasting. Who knew?
What are you gonna do, Rick Greenwood? You can't stop living.
You can't stop. He's an old friend of mine. He lives in 29 Palms, and then he's also got a place in San Diego. Are you guys out in San Diego? Is N2 out there?
Yeah, we have tons of publications out there. Well, across the country, like I said, we have 1,000. We have about 20 in this area. So we're in, Warwick Neck. We're in Westerly, Rhode Island. We have Lincoln, Lime Rock around Blackstone Boulevard. Barrington is launching in November. North Attleboro, we're in Wellesley, Hopkinton, Duxbury, Plymouth.
Wow.
I'm sure I'm missing some. There's about 20 of them. So we have a lot in this area. And
definitely California's got like a lot of them. So
a lot. We're heavy in Florida, heavy in Texas, definitely in California as well.
Wow.
We're in all like the gated communities across the country. I mean, we don't really have that here in New England as much, but we've had a lot of celebrities on our covers, a few presidents on our covers. So it's been, it's really cool. It feels like you're making a difference in connecting people and being a part of their lives, because what's more important than people in relationships, really? I mean, we're only here on this earth for a short time, right?
Right.
If you can connect somebody and it enriches their life in some way, then it's really rewarding for me. That's why I do what I do. Yeah,
and we learn from one another. I mean, you might have opposing views, but you sit with someone for coffee and you're like, you know what? I like that person. I'm starting to change my way of thinking. I mean, we're all humans on this big blue ball, so we got to learn to get along. I think Facebook is a big wall that separates us. Mm-hmm. I probably shouldn't say this because it's going out there. And I do know that the Facebook people are listening. But it is like a wall. It blocks us from being face to face. I think of that. I had this conversation with my wife a while ago. That's why road rage is big, because you're in this metal box and you're going down the road and the person just doesn't have enough time to cut in front of you because they made a mistake. They really should have gotten the lane first. They cut in front and then everyone's getting mad and like, flipping people off. And it's just like crazy. But you would never do that if you were in a grocery store walking down the aisle in a carriage and you're like, oh, I'm sorry. You're like, oh, no, it's all right. Go ahead. Because you can see them. You're in their presence. If you're on a highway or a road, you're not. And even Facebook is even less that. You're really not even seeing them. You're just seeing a little avatar or profile pic. So you can say whatever you want. You can vomit. You can take your head like a giraffe and just ram right into their bladder.
Right.
That's why I think it's so important what you guys are doing. You're pulling people together. Mayberry RFD.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a mouthful. I just had to get that out. Thanks for hanging in there with me. The advantages of working with you specifically. Go ahead, drink your drink.
So,
is that a real olive?
This is.
Oh, but the you hold it's plastic. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm saving it for. I'm saving this for the party at the end.
Oh, there you go. Hey, we got to do a virtual clink. Let's do that right now.
All right.
Then you could answer my question. So the virtual clink, here's how it works. You hold it in your left hand.
Oh.
Your drink.
If I spill this on the computer and go out.
Yeah, really. And I'm going to hold it here. And now move it about 5 inches to your right on the count of 3. Ready? Oh, you're freezing up quite a bit, so I don't even know.
Sorry.
All right, pull it closer to you. There you go. A little to your left. All right, you froze again. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Come on, move it.
I don't know which way I'm going.
Oh, you're going to the right. You gotta move it to the right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh, that was.
That's like the high five that misses.
That was the most pathetic. But you know what? That's okay.
I was afraid I was going to spill mine on the laptop.
I know, and I don't want you to ruin your laptop. I'm going to grab all those and make a blooper video of every single virtual clink. One of these days, I need an intern to do that. Cut out all those parts and put them in an hour-long This is episode 66, so I've been doing 66 virtual clinks. I should be better at it, but, Okay, the advantages of working with you specifically. How do you help people?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, Dave, but I'm a little passionate about what I do.
I think so.
I have a heart for people. I really want to help people. I mean, I have a service filled heart that I want to help people. So, if I want to I meet with these businesses. I know what great businesses they are. I'm excited to get them out and talk about them and introduce them to people. And, I've introduced a couple of different people at different events, like Wicked Nice Lawn came to one of my events, and so did Tim Zoll from Zoll House Companies. I was able to introduce the two of them. They would have never met in a normal, day-to-day thing. But because I introduced them personally, they ended up being able to do a lot of business together, which is kind of cool, right? Because that would have never happened had it not been for that one event and one introduction. We had at that same event, our veterinarian came from Rentham Animal Hospital, and I knew that people were getting puppies for Christmas and was able to make introductions there. So, I mean, how could you not go with a veterinarian that you just met in person at an event?
Right.
People in person it's much better than, especially people in affluent communities, they want to get referrals from people they know and trust and their neighbors. People want to do business with people they know and trust, so they ask around, and that's why we look for good businesses that are word of mouth. And then I can't wait to get share with other people how great they are. And so working with me, you get that extra touch of, I really think it's a partnership. It's not just advertising, it's a true partnership. And I do a lot of extra for my partners, like the sponsor spotlight I just showed you. I actually had that framed for them and gave it to him. I usually do that for all of my sponsors. I'll frame it, and you may have seen that on my Instagram feed. I usually take a picture. And that's just all extra, that I'd like to do, because it's it's a keepsake for them, and it makes them feel good. It makes me feel good to give them something that is so important to them. They started their business, from nothing to something, and it's important to have that keepsake. So
yeah, your strength is you're a connector. There are people that are connectors, and you are that way, and you can't fake that. I can tell you love people, and you can't fake that. You really do try to bring people together. You kind of wonder. You bring someone like a veterinarian with a new family that has a new puppy, one business owner to another business owner. You introduce them at an event. A new family that comes in who came from out of town. Now everyone knows them. They see them at the local store. They're like, hey, I just read an article about you. Are you aware of the impact that you're making on people's lives? I hope you get people come up to you, say, thank you so much for being here.
I do hear that a lot. I'm not a recognition-seeking person. I like to work behind the scenes and really help people out, kind of like the wizard,
Yeah.
And it's nice to get recognized and thanked, but I don't seek it out. I just like to help people.
Yeah.
But I do hear a lot from people how much they appreciate everything that I'm doing, and I'm like, no problem. That's what I love it. Obviously, I didn't do it for the money. I was a vice president in corporate before that. But it brings me joy, and it's so rewarding that it's the connecting of people, that it's really the most important thing.
That's cool. Well, I'm going to open it up right here. It's been open anyway, but any questions anybody have? Has? Is that it? Has, people, has, plural, singular. Just ask away. Just type in, and they're going to show up on the screen. Any questions you have for Danielle, anything about how she is. If you know her, type in what you think about her, because I know she doesn't look for that kind of accolades, but sometimes you need that because you're doing such a great job, Danielle. You're connecting the community.
Thank you. I have a few people. I did a watch party, and a few people just commented and waved and put hearts, but no questions.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing with the watch party. I was doing that for a while. I said, click on the purple popcorn icon and just have a watch party. But what happened is with Facebook, when someone has a watch party, all those people, those 50, 60 people that watch that party, when they leave comments and hearts, I don't see it here. I can't bring it on the screen. So it's good and it's bad, but anyway, I'm trying to connect people all together, but got to find a good way. But yeah, just tell us where you're from. Just type in where you're from. I know we've got Rick Greenwood. He's from Mayberry, RFD, Mayberry Front Porch. Carmela is here. Where is Carmela? Is she in North Providence, North Smithfield?
She's going to be ramping up a publication in that area, but I know she lives in Rhode Island. I can't remember the city, but Carmela, feel free to type it in so we all know where you live.
Yeah, and congratulations, Carmela. I heard through the grapevine, through someone named Bob Salvis, who we both know, said, oh, Carmela's going to be doing what Danielle is doing. That's great.
Yep, and my friend Danica just...
Danica? Yes. What's Danica's last name?
Danica. You know Danica.
You just broke up. Danica what?
Maybe people will feel sorry and send me a new gateway, even though I have one just on the internet. I mean, it's been like this all day. I shut it down earlier. I don't know what's going on, but Danica Pennant, she's
yes, I'm seeing her name in my feed a lot.
Yeah, she's launching Barrington. She's hitting the 10-5 deadline, so it'll be in home in November. So that's pretty exciting.
Nice. I got to bring her on the show and introduce her. Get to know her. I think she's showing up in my feed. I keep seeing her name. She's always laughing and smiling, her like profile picture.
Yep, she's another perfect connector of people. So is Carmela. And everyone, they're going to do great.
That is cool. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's 9:56. I hope you weren't nervous. I hope I calmed you down a little bit.
You did great. I hope I didn't babble too much, and I hope my internet wasn't so annoying for people, freezing every minute.
No, you know what it does? It froze quite a bit, but it's like only for like 2 seconds, and then it came back on. But your audio was all the time. I mean, if your audio stopped and the video was smooth, that would be annoying because what you're saying, we can't even hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we heard everything you said. It's just that, it's not you. It's the internet. People are on the internet a lot. Mark Harbour. Is that your husband?
Yeah, we have a lot of headbangers in this house. My son plays drums, and he's into heavy metal. They both love Led Zeppelin. So they'll be on tomorrow.
You'll have to be on tomorrow. Yeah, headbangers. I'm not going to call them headbangers anymore. I'm going to be calling them giraffe headbangers. Mark, definitely tune in tomorrow night. This kid, he's got to be 16, 17. He looks just like Jimmy Page. Oh my gosh. So glad he's coming on. But Carmela is leaving a comment. You did great, Danielle Harbour. Is that how you pronounce your maiden?
Abdu, yeah. It's
Abdu.
Lebanese.
You're a DAH. Cool. Bob Goldberg, Zeppelin rule. Oh, everyone's talking about Zeppelin tomorrow night.
Everyone likes Zeppelin more than the Cliffs Living. What the heck?
Well, the Cliffs Living doesn't come from the land of the ice and the snow, where the hot springs blow, with the hammer of the gods.
Nice.
We drive our ships to new lands.
Dave, you have a lot of information up there. I have a question for you.
Oh, no one's ever asked me a question. Go ahead.
How long does it take you to pull all that information that you pull out? The did you know and the giraffe, the wife handcuffs thing that you said. How long does it take you to pull all that did you know information?
I would say 30 minutes. I have a handful of sites, and I actually wear down this. There might be 99 weird facts about New York City. And I'll go through, 20 of them, and then the next episode, the other 20, and then that's done. I got to find another site. I just killed one site, odd facts about human nature and animals. That's where the giraffe thing came in. So once I find a site, it's really just, I look at it, I go, I like that one, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And so, yeah, it's about half an hour.
Wow, that's great.
But it takes about almost 2 hours to prepare for each show.
Yeah, I'm so impressed at how professional your show is. I apologize for messing it up with my internet, but your show is so professional.
Don't worry, I'm not mad. I won't hold it against you.
I mean,
No.
control the controllable, right? That's just one of those things that you just can't have to let it go.
No, thank you for saying that. Really, that's cool. No one said that before, but it's not really 2 hours. It's 2 hours of during the day for the show, but it's calling, emailing, making sure that I got the Skype name right for the people, the questions. I got to get the photo. I got to create the ad for the day. I create the video that comes on, the teaser video just before you come on. And all I did is I took my phone and I went to your Facebook page and I went to the gallery and I just used my right hand. I scrolled so that it's all moving and I just film, clip, put them all together, put music behind it. So I got it down to a science. I really do.
That looked great. I hope you're going to send that to me maybe. But I thought
I will. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate what you're doing in the community and highlighting small businesses and getting the word out. So I appreciate you, Dave. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, one last comment. Catherine Schothofer, Jimmy Page has nothing on you, Danielle.
Amen, Catherine. Amen.
And Mark Harbour is doing the thumbs up, the devil thing. Oh, the devil. What do you call that? It's like I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
I was never into that. It just, I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Stay on. I got an after party.
Okay.
Keep that martini filled up. Danielle, you've been awesome. You've been super sweet, bubbly, happy. You light up a room. You love people. I wish you the absolute best. Stay in the room. We're going to have a little after party right after.
Can I add one more thing?
You can add as much as you want.
If any businesses
yes.
saw this in any of our communities, free to reach out. We have my email address up here. So we can at least show you the program, see if it's a good fit. And if it is, great. And if it's not, no worries. But feel free to shoot me an email.
And you know what? To ride on that, if you're listening right now, which I know you are, a bunch of people are, you know someone who started a business. I guarantee there's about 2 or 3 of you out there that know of a friend who just started a business. Whatever it is, okay? If it's in the northern Rhode Island, Attleboro-ish area, tag them. Put it in the comments. Just tag them so they'll see that. They'll listen to this episode. They'll love you for it. And then connect with Danielle. Danielle, thank you so much. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Wow, she was super nice, huh? Danielle Harbour. I have this thing where I want to record when I meet people. Back in the day, you meet people and you don't see them for years, but there's certain people that, no, I'm always going to know them. I'm always going to bump into them. They're a friend. Danielle is one of those people. Not everyone do I remember the day we meet, but if I think back, I think she visited one of our B&I groups. Well, I know she did, but I don't remember the day. But I could look it up. But I feel like I've met Danielle even years ago. Actually, I met someone else from N2, not Danielle, about 4 years ago when I brought on a partner. But anyway, I'm getting away with myself. But it's cool to have like a friend-iversary, Like, hey, it's 3 years ago today I met you at that networking event, and now we're best buddies. So let's celebrate. Let's have a cake. Let's have a barbecue. Let's headbutt like giraffes do. I'll tell you, is that weird or what? If you're just tuning in and you didn't check this out, I gotta repeat this. This is so weird. This is a did you know? Male giraffes, to know when to mate, a male giraffe will continuously, Danielle and I didn't talk about that. It was continuously, I don't do it once, continuously headbutt the female in the bladder until she urinates. I thought it was one time. I think I read it and didn't pick up on that. I thought it was boom, right in the bladder, and it peed. No, he keeps doing it, and he's like, oh, she didn't pee. I'm going to keep headbutt. He headbutts the female in the bladder till she urinates. And if that wasn't enough, then he tastes the pee. And that helps him determine whether the female is ovulating. Folks, if for nothing else, you've got to tune in and like and follow my page, because you will get crazy, crazy facts like that every single night of the week. All right, it is 10:04. I'm running a little behind, but that's okay. Wile E. Coyote, they launched him today. And the E is Ethelbert. Wile Ethelbert Coyote. All right, I always have a closing joke. They're not always great. I'll admit they're not always great. And today is no difference. But I got a lot of battery. You ever get batteries and you forget if they were working or not? I have so many dead batteries. My gosh. But today I gave my dead batteries away. They were free of charge. Free of charge. What do you think of that, Mr. Giraffe? Okay, this one works. This is how you tell if it works. Zeppelin tomorrow night. Tune in. Jack Bowden, he's a kid. He looks like Jimmy Page and he sounds like Jimmy Page. Come on. Rock on. Want to come from the land of the ice and the snow where the hot springs blow. See you, everybody. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock.